congratulations on the movie. When I left, I felt really, obviously I felt really proud, but also extremely sad and frustrated that this story had been swept under the carpet for so long and not many people knew about it. And you playing Quinlan, how did you feel that his story had been ignored for so long throughout his lifetime?
Yeah, I think I felt very similar to you the first time I read the script as you felt the first time when you watched the movie. You sort of can't believe that this happened and we don't know about it, and then when you start to find out the reasons why not many people know about it, it's very frustrating. And that these guys, not only did they not get the recognition they deserved, they got the opposite of that. They got put down for their efforts, you know. And
so cowards.
You know, and there's this whole derogatory term of Jadotville Jacks that you know, you told me about the first time we met. That was used as a term when in the army going forward. If someone showed an act of cowardice, they were known as a Jadotville Jack. I mean, even now that angers me so much. You know, when you know what these guys really went through and how heroic they were. So, as much as when you make a movie, you're not trying to tell people how to feel. It's subjective, but it's hard with this movie not to come out a bit angered. I agree with you.
And did his family feel that you did him a good service?
You'll have to get them in here and ask them. I don't know.
No, they did. No, Leo came to me and said he was really happy with the portrayal of his dad. So yeah,
I haven't met him. He'll be here tonight. But Quinlan's grandson Connor's in the movie with us. So he never tried to hit me or anything. So presumably, sorry.
So obviously happy with it. And this is your first time, am I right, in directing a movie?
Yes, my first feature, as they say. Yeah.
And is this where it's going? Because after seeing this, I'm kind of curious, like, what else can you do there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, your first film is the hardest one to get made in the business, and it then becomes like the calling card for the next one, so the plan is to keep on making them, yeah.
And you enjoyed it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic experience. And
you're out in Johannesburg for how long?
We were in Johannesburg forever. Yeah. I was there for 7 months, but the prep was 3 and the shoot was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a good old time, and a lot of the guys were out there for 4 months. Jamie was there for 4 months.
Yeah.
So it's a big commitment and everybody, there was no problem getting the people to commit. They were really so passionate about the story. Even the South African crew just took it on as their own story. They really felt so angry about what had happened.
And the extras, we had a boot camp for 2 weeks before we started filming, and we had, you know, I don't know, about 80 extras or something. All South African lads, and who, you know, we're hoping looked Irish in the background, and we did a talk. It was a very clever idea actually, that we all stood up and gave them a talk about and filled them in on the history of. So they're not just turning up the set today going, "We're running after these guys."
They're involved.
So we gave, and honestly, speaking of a big lad, Chris was a big like butch looking guy. He's actually an architect, but he took time off to, and he was in tears. You know, like when we were telling him like what this story meant and how these boys were treated when they came back and stuff, and I thought that was really a clever idea to have all these people on board, you know.
So every morning when I'd arrive to set, like at 4:30 in the morning, you just see like all these rows of soldiers being drilled and marched down to set.
Yeah.
Like as dawn was coming up, you just
felt like the real thing.
Like honestly, it was really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we did. We tried to create a real environment.
You can see that as well watching the movie.
And also, with the thing is, like, you wouldn't. I mean, extras get paid such shit money, and you know, get terrible food, and they usually work all day, and usually they say
the same food that we had.
It's all terrible.
And you know, a lot of times they start to just not show up. But like
we did have a lot of drop out.
Yeah, we had a few, but not as near as many as like a lot of people just kept coming.
And you're obviously doing really well for yourself at the moment. Were some of the younger guys coming up to you and looking for advice on how to?
I think those guys, all these guys here, and they know me well enough not to ask me for advice. No, but look, no, it's, you know, it's career. You know, acting is such a silly career to want to do, and there's so few people. You know, there's that awful statistic of 5 at any given point. There's only 5% of actors that are employed. Why you'd want to go into that world, I don't know. You have to be a bit mad, I think. You know, things are good at the moment, but every chance they won't be in a few years' time. So I'm just enjoying it while I can.